Good afternoon, everybody. So I don't remember if it was the last video or which one, I was talking about soil compaction. So we got more cows on our land than what we need to have. And all them hooves compact the soil. So I got to thinking about this old piece that my grandfather had made many years ago. So I dug it out, and I'm going to kind of use it as an aerator to open the ground up a little, I hope.
Paul Booker made that.
Yes, but I don't think it's going to weigh enough. Either that or our ground is so hard it won't hardly penetrate it. But I can drive around a little bit and see if the end of those discs is shiny. That'll mean they're digging in some. But this thing is set for probably 20 years. So I'm going to see if it'll take grease. If it ain't, we're going to fix that. And run around the field a little bit and see if it looks like it's going to do what I want it to do. Because we do have rain coming a chance of rain the next few days. So if I can get some little cracks in this ground so it can accept some water, I think it'll make a big difference. So we'll try that before we go see the girls.
Okay. They all took grease.
Well, I brought some new grease fittings in case they didn't, but they did. So what we'll do, I'm going to run this around on the field some. Might as well run it down here a little bit before I go up. But my main goal was some places that has this little short grass that just won't grow, even though it's been fertilized and we've had rain. So I'm just going to run around with it a few minutes.
Have you been back to check the babies?
I have not, but I can see grooves.
Oh yeah.
Where I pulled this, so
yeah,
it's doing something, but this is softer dirt here.
Yeah, this will be interesting, won't it?
I'm afraid when it gets into hard dirt, it's just going to bounce on top of the ground, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see if it works. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting in the ground. He's a little far out. I can't tell how it's doing, but he'll let me know here in just a minute. I know up close here it was definitely digging in. So. He said it is working. It's digging slots in the ground, so that's what we're wanting it to do, so that's great.
So this actually may be working better than I even thought it would. You can see these slots that it's cutting in the ground, and that's my goal, is to get this hard compacted soil broke up a little so when it rains it can get down to where it needs to be. Like I said, my grandpa made this years ago. It appears as if he just took a disc and cut it up and put them side by side and then got them in the straight mode and cut out the disc. So you just got slots that it's cutting. If I remember right, this was kind of his idea in making this, but I'm not positive. But I think you can see on the camera, you definitely can by eye. It's actually doing exactly what I was hoping it would do. So we may run over a little of it this evening, and we may work on it a little all week and try to get all the fields done.
So today has been very sunny all day, and the heat and humidity is back, which actually right now is very comfortable. There's a little cool breeze, so, but earlier it was so hot. The heat's supposed to be here for next week. Like Tony was saying, some rain, but still supposed to be very warm. Tony said that worked better than he thought. Now what?
Here, let me have the camera and I'll explain to him.
What's that?
So my grandpa, he could rig up anything. He wasn't an educated man and he growed up poor, but he made this out of what he had. So this shows that you don't have to have all this fancy stuff. I mean, you can look what he just used pipes and channel iron to make him a hitch, and I just noticed looking, the discs aren't even the same size on this thing. He just used what he had, so this side has larger discs than this side. But they all work, it don't matter. But that just shows what you can do when you just work with what you have sometimes. I bet an aerator for a tractor would cost $2,000 or $3,000 easy. And he probably made this out of something that somebody probably just threw away. In fact, the hay rake that I used for many years was given to him by a tractor dealer because it was junk and not worth doing anything with. But I raked probably 20 years or more with that old rake. So anyway, the old things work just as good as something you could buy.
He's going to grease that one more time before we go up and check the girls.
I get ready to use it the next time, which will hopefully be this week some. To get some other fields, it'll be ready to go.
Yeah. That way, he was saying when he gets ready to use it, it'll be ready to go. He won't have to stop and grease it.
Because I doubt that you can buy anything for this anymore. If a bearing or something went out.
Boy, it feels a lot cooler now, doesn't it? That breeze is cooler.
Yep. So, a while back I created an Amazon store to promote things that I like. And viewers can go buy off there. It's no higher than it is if you just look it on Amazon normally. But we actually get a little bit if you buy something that we use and like. Right here is my #1 first thing that I'm going to put on our Amazon store. It is the lock and lube fitting for grease fittings. You pull that down, you put it on your grease fitting, it holds it. You don't have to hold it with your hand. It's one of the best items I've ever used. It just works well.
Where did you get that at?
Well, you can get it on Amazon.
Oh.
But I will put that in I'll put a link in the description to that. And if anybody wants one of them fittings for your grease gun, it'll fit any grease gun. But it works, and it works very well. They make different lengths on them. I've got a long one and I've got this short one. They make them go at a right angle. And I'll put a link to them in the Amazon store. If anybody wants one of them, they do work great. I use them at work as well as here. At work is where I first used them, but they work great.
I was just noticing that the sky looks like it's a little dark, doesn't it, back that way?
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance today, but
man, it's cooled down, don't you think? The breeze is cooler.
Not cool at all.
Well, I'm not cool. I'm just saying from
You shivered a minute ago, though.
well, from when I got off of work to now is a lot cooler.
I tried to do a little bit this morning, but I actually got too hot. It wasn't like 70, but the humidity was 70-some%, and it was just sticky.
Well, is that breeze not cool to you?
No, I'm not cool at all.
Huh. Feels cool to me.
Watch out, little pig.
Little.
Baby pig.
Yeah, it does look pretty back here, Dawn. It looks real pretty and green.
See it like they've been in the woods eating any of that old hay or lounged in there in it. Well, they're just scattered out everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not together. Nobody's running to us. Are these flies or gnats? Look at them in the sun there.
I don't know.
If
I've
the camera will pick them up.
I doubt
Stop
it
with
will.
shade.
You can't, not through this window, but there's just gnats or I don't know what olives are.
Yeah, I don't know what these are, if it'll even show up.
I feel like they're like this every year around this time.
There's like millions of them. It's getting in my mouth when I was trying to do that. When I was running around with that homemade aerator. Well, they've sure done something to it. They've eaten it and just rubbed their head until they spread it out one, because all that's left of that is the middle of it.
And there's one more on down here that they were rolling.
It looks pretty much like it did, but I'm seeing some poop in the hay. I don't know, I believe that's smaller one. Eventually, I'm going to just put all the other three in here too, because I don't want to spread them out on the land, because I think a lot of it will just lay there, and of course in here it just don't matter.
Yeah, grass does not grow in here.
And they can get what they want. So a long-term goal is we've got a very large section of woods that no grass grows in. My goal is to start fencing off sections of that. And I mean, this may be years and years in the working, but start getting it cleaned up and start pushing the trees back some.
So you have
Cutting the trees down or timbering them. Because a lot of the trees are so thick that they're just dying anyway. So all these pines is ready to harvest again here, for example. They were cut in 95 last, only pine. But now...
At 30 years ago.
30 years ago, and they're all ready to be harvested again. But every pine on the farm that was big enough to cut in 95 was cut. In fact, that's what we bought the tractor, the bigger Kubota, that's what we bought that tractor with, was what we got out of cutting the pines in 1995. But they definitely need it again. It don't really look like they've been in here much.
No.
I don't see poop anyway. I mean,
I think there's a at the top more, don't you?
yeah. I didn't look to see if they'd been the other way. I'm sure they'll get there. We can't really drive there. It's too steep and too many little trees. So 2 years ago, when me and Sherry went around here and finally got this opened up, it'd been many years since it'd been in, but you couldn't even look through here.
Oh yeah.
So it's made a substantial difference just having the cattle in here to help clean some of it up. It was so thick you couldn't walk through. It would be really clear if it wasn't for the ice storm and all these limbs laying everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, because it didn't look like this.
No, you couldn't see up there at the fence at the top at all.
No, I meant before the ice storm. These limbs was not here.
Oh no. And I don't know if you remember, Sherry, you should. When our son was little, we were going to take a vacation to Disney. It was a Christmas present from my mother and father. Well, at that time we were cutting oak and hickory for a barbecue place that was close to us. This whole hillside was clear. I don't know if you remember that, because
I remember cutting it
I
here.
would drive down this hill with
You mean no trees right through here?
very few. They were very few trees, so
What have they done? Just
they've grown back naturally.
Oh.
There was nothing planted,
oh
but
yeah, because there's quite a few.
I almost wish we hadn't let it do that. You know, we could come back to, well, you can come back anywhere you want and build a fence, start taking the trees out, keep it clear, and eventually regular grass will take over in here.
Yeah, but it's awful hilly though, isn't it? Too
Well, it'd be,
steep.
yeah, but it would be perfect for cows to eat on.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you ain't gotta, I guess the worst part is if it got a lot of briars or something that you wanted to spray, you would have to do it off of a four-wheeler or by hand, because you couldn't. It's a little steep for a tractor. I've took a tractor straight down this hill when it was clear, but you can start. I watched a video on how to gain land back, and one way was to do that. You fence you off a section. He recommended putting pigs in there to clear it out, but
I would love some little pigs.
no, you would get attached to them, and when they're little, and wouldn't want to do nothing with them. So I think a person ought to just start doing sections. You know, if it ain't but a third of an acre, if it ain't but a quarter of an acre, I don't know how big this is, but let's say it's a quarter of an acre, just start at the edge and start cutting the trees down. Cut the logs into lengths, haul them to a mill where they'll buy them, and the little stuff, you'd probably just cut it down.
Yeah. But the pigs we could just use all over the farm.
I don't think pigs are that easy to move around and stuff, though.
Oh.
Hi, Bella.
I think it's funny. We used to have to hunt for Bella to eat her honey bun, but now, here lately, she comes running
I
for
think
it.
it's because all these babies are running, and she's afraid they're going to get her honey bun,
Oh.
even her own.
Bella, we don't give other cows your honey bun.
Now, your baby's beside of you there somewhere. I've seen it. I don't know which one's it. Oh, it didn't get one because it's hid right beside of it. I think. Bella,
Look here, look
you
at you.
ruined every one of my white, comfortable, cool shirts. Licking on them.
Now, here comes some babies
Look at
to
all
my
these
side.
babies. They're everywhere. I think this hillside is a place I really want to use that aerator.
Yeah, the grass on this hillside just does not grow.
I've fertilized it, I've done everything. I've limed it. It's been a number of years since it's been limed. It just don't grow grass on that hillside. It may just be the quality of dirt, but... Hello, Annabelle. I'd love to give a little Roscoe. Come here, Roscoe. Better hurry, little
He is
buddy.
adorable,
Better
isn't he?
hurry before that squeaker gets here.
Little Roscoe. Oh gosh, here comes Rafiki the bull. He'll
He ain't as bad as a cow or.
no, he ain't rough at all.
Here, Dixie's trying to squeeze in between him, and she can't budge him. To watch her walk.
That's Sadie, and we gotta watch her walk, see how her foot's doing.
Vicky, now.
Yeah, we've got to check on Sadie's foot.
Come here, Wooly.
I see little Amelia down there, Tony. She's not as crazy about treats as Roscoe is.
me let you get her some, and I'll watch Sadie's foot.
Oh gosh, we're having a time with these babies this evening.
I would
They're
do
just
every year,
everywhere.
but you ruin my babies. And
I do not ruin the babies.
look at them running down here.
They love the treats.
I heard little Roscoe.
Oh.
Little Amelia's gonna truck down here though. Tolerated Nazareth. Yeah. I don't know why, because she don't.
Well, if you remember, the first baby she ever had was born dead, and I think she just become close with Nazareth. Look at him. And he likes her too, don't he?
Yeah, they've always got along for some reason. Hi, little Eddie. Migrate towards the gate, and I want to show you another project I have sometime.
So you've not started another project?
It's another fencing off a piece of overgrown area. But I spotted me a path here yesterday, I believe it was. A clearing down through here, straight down to that old road. So I was thinking about running an electric fence down from this fence down and along that road in this corner here that's in the woods. Let them in there to clean that up some.
Oh gosh, that's a mess. We had to go down there when one of the babies. That's where that was, wasn't it? Oh gosh.
But there's a clear path we can take. We're just going to have to put all electric fence up down through there. And we'll use that great big high visibility electric wire and a good hot charger. And do you recall when I had a fence all along that road and had this whole section right here fenced off in there?
No.
It was before you started coming?
I guess. I don't remember that.
But right through there is a good spot because there's nothing really, we wouldn't have to clear nothing is what I'm saying. But
there's nothing in there for them to eat besides brush.
Oh no, but like
but they would just clear the land.
They love this kind of vine right here. I don't know what this is.
Oh yeah.
These little leaves and some of these vines that grows up in trees, they eat that. But see, all this in here is really overgrown.
And they would just, I guess, trample it down.
Oh, they trample it down, but you would probably be able to see through here. This type of leaf here, I ain't sure what that is. They would eat that.
Well, that's kind of how those woods back there looked. I don't think they was quite as bad as this.
I don't know. You couldn't see through it.
Yeah, that's true.
But see, I used to bush hog this right down here. I would bush hog up to right here. And look how bad this is all grown up. You see all this?
Yeah, they like that stuff, don't they?
Well, a lot of this right here is, some of it needs sprayed. A lot of that's rose bushes, but they would clear that out enough that I could back in there and bush hog it.
Does Nazareth, would he eat a rose bush?
Oh, yes, he would eat briars and roses like you wouldn't believe. They'll eat things that a cow thinking if we went down that hill and along that road and then maybe to right in here or somewhere, and that wouldn't take, we could do that in one evening.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
The only issue is deer is so bad that I'd have to use that big high visibility wire or the deer would run through it, and then we'd have to be hunting cattle in there. But
because where does that is on the other side of that's on someone else's land. Right.
I mean, it's way over. These woods are big.
Okay.
That's I can't even remember. I've got it wrote down how many acres these woods are. I'd be afraid to guess right now. It's probably at least 10 acres of woods.
Oh, really? Well, 10 acres will make a difference.
Well, if you fence that off and got that cleared off and start cutting some of these trees that's on the edge and just start opening your field up a little at a time.
Yeah, you won't want to take all of them down.
Oh, no. Well, you couldn't keep up, I don't think.
No.
But we really, at some point, need to get that timbered because some of it's starting to die where it's getting choked out. It's so thick and deep.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something you need to have someone come and do.
Well, maybe. I really don't want to deal with the mess.
Yeah.
And them driving over, they got to drive over something, fields or something, to get to here, and it's a long way here to the back. It's not an easy access, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And then you just don't want to mess the fields
What
up.
we need to do is find some small operation, like just somebody that's got just one skidder and maybe a knuckle boom and a tandem axle log truck, and that's their whole operation. Not these big people with semis and stuff like that, because they just couldn't get back here.
Yeah.
Not without going across a hay field, and that ain't gonna happen.
So do you know anyone like that?
Not really. I'm sure I could ask around. But it needs to be done because it's getting so thick. These poplar trees, my gosh, they're 3 foot in diameter, 80 feet tall in there. It's just going to end up dying if we don't get some of this out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's crazy. That's a waste of money just to let something die like that when you could do that and put that money back into the farm.
Yep. But these are, like I said, we didn't cut anything but pine in 95. Nothing but pine.
Gosh.
And these hardwoods are worth way more than pine. Not that I'm thinking about the money of it, but like you said, ain't no use to throw it away.
Yeah, when you can put it back into the farm.
When you can put it back into something, and
that's just wasteful.
if you actually clear cut some of the areas, you know, cut everything that's in certain spots and start having little patches of grass around.
Yeah, it would be nice if we actually had time to do stuff like that, wouldn't it? And plan it.
That's sort of a retirement plan, but you know,
well,
I may not be in shape to do it when it's retirement.
Oh yeah, and that's a long ways away, really, as far as they're going to be dead by retirement.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, let's get to the house, and I do have 3 more of these. Before we go to the house, I do have 3 more of these old rolls, and you can look at the difference in them. It's the 3 that's on the left of the top up there.
Oh yeah.
That's the ones we bought that was supposed to be quality hay that ended up being mostly broom sage.
Yeah.
But then that would give me a place to put at least 5 more rolls of hay in there.
Yeah, he still hasn't got his hay shed.
Ain't done nothing to it, really.
And it's about time to start cutting seconds, so it's unreal.
I believe I mentioned, I don't have planned to cut our hay field yet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut everybody else's before I do ours.
Oh.
And I would love to pasture ours up until, well, it'd be lovely to do it till Christmas if it'd last that long.
Oh, yeah.
But,
just depends on the weather, a lot
yeah,
of
it all depends on the weather. It depends on how much hay we get off of the other places, because we got to have enough for winter, even though that's prolonging when you have to start.
Yep,
I normally start around Thanksgiving feeding hay, but last year was way earlier than that.
Yep.
But another reason we had to start earlier last year is because Rose kept tearing through the fence, around the house especially. I put 3 new strands of barbed wire up because the other had been there since '98.
Gosh.
And it had just got rotten. So I put 3 new strands up. It didn't matter. She broke a brand new wire. So I'm going to have to electrify that for sure. And we can keep them in there a little longer maybe.
Now we don't have to, will we have to move them tomorrow?
At this point, I'm going to say probably not, but you know how they are.
Yeah.
A lot of times they decide when they're going to move. If
Yeah.
we come over and they're all standing at the gate of bawling, a lot of times I'll move them just to do it when they want to, because it really don't matter to me. But an extra day would be very helpful for us and the land too.
Yeah, we'll come back tomorrow and decide if we need to move them or not.
Yes.